Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 147. Iliya here, and as always I'm really grateful to have you on the channel. And as you know, in this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what did it do, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. So this one was actually extraordinary. We had Monday starting up with some massive pushes, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Friday. Right, so on the DXY we crushed all the targets that I expected for this month, which was amazing. But again, it was a little bit tricky because every single day started with a massive push to the downside, of course depending on the pair, and then of course as traders we are wired to look for reversals. You think that it's too low or you think that it's too high, so you start going against it, and the market just beautifully continues to go in the direction. And this is kind of a mistake that I did as well, which I'm very sad because I did not catch a single short on EU. And the only profitable trades that I had were longs, right? So pretty strange, but I learned tons of lessons this week. So I'm gonna share them with you on this video. I'm gonna break down some of my trades as well. And yeah, actually the monthly candle is gonna close on Monday, but I'm gonna do my monthly analysis next week after we also have NFP. I think it's gonna have more context to actually provide with a very nice top-down analysis, and we're also gonna pick up the giveaway winner at that time. So make sure you're commenting and make sure you're subscribed as well. Turn on the notification. I'm currently working on a video series. I really think you're gonna find a lot of value. It's currently in the works, so of course let me know in the comments what you struggle with, so I know how to help you. And yeah, also working a lot on my own trading, so I'm not really posting as much because I want to crush some very nice quarterly targets as well. So it's time for hustle, right? So before we jump in, shout out to an amazing broker that is Forex.com. It is great. It has all the instruments you want, but what I love about them is that they have a no commission account, but I picked their eco account where you pay a commission, but every single lot that you trade will go towards planting 10 trees, right? So I really think this is an amazing initiative. Go check them out. Link is down in the description. See all the trees that they have planted because they have everything documented. So check them out, register, and let's get trading. Alright, as always, let's get started with a Dixie. Extraordinary week on this one, and I pretty much think this could be also the monthly candle closure. We can analyze already the monthly, but I'm gonna do this next week as we have actually the monthly closure. The new monthly candle is gonna start up moving a little bit. We're gonna have NFP as well, so I think it's gonna be much greater for some context as well. So pretty much this week we opened no wick to the downside and we just started crushing to the upside, and we did this for quite a few days in a row, right? And if you remember, I had a couple of targets, right? So the first one was 150, then we targeted 101 above this level, then we targeted 102 into these wicks, then I targeted 103, right, at this high, and I really thought that the market is gonna reverse from there, but we went towards 2017 highs right there. This is January 2017, and we also crushed this high, which is almost 104, right? So this is big, right? This is big. We're taking up a lot of highs right there, a lot of liquidity, and we have almost confirmed really hard time frame weekly / monthly bullish market, right? Because we actually held from this one, we broke this high, we're currently breaking this high, and of course depending on if everything is going to continue as it is right now with the rates, with inflation and all that stuff that is happening, I do think we can continue, of course, upwards. But again, then the next question comes in, which we almost always go wrong. Well, are we going to have a pullback, right? So again, as we're going to have the monthly candle close like this, well, I would expect for us to start bearish, right? But again, who knows? We might just explode for another month. But we actually have around 4 bullish months right now. But let me not go too much into the monthly analysis. So again, as you can see on the daily, since the 21st of April, well, we actually had this beautiful pullback to potentially take a long. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, 7 bullish days right there, and only Friday as a pullback day, right? So right now, of course, we don't have a complete pullback, so we have only one candle to the downside. I would love to see one more in order to identify my range as this one. But let's say that this is the high. Of course, we took out major liquidity on the left, as I told you, so we can start expecting a potential pullback, right? Where to? Well, I would love to see at least equilibrium, which is 50%. And then, yeah, of course, anything around 101 will be good, but I don't expect like a 200 pip pullback just for a pullback. Because if we go so strong with momentum, the market does not usually give a lot, right? And it's probably gonna pull back something like this, then it's gonna start shifting structure, so we have to immediately start following it. Okay, so again, this week, what can I say? Where is it? 24th. So again, we opened 24th, boom, push, right? We opened 26th, pushed. Another day open, push, right? All the way into the highs. And right now, what we have on the 4-hourly time frame is maybe a little bit of a shift, but not really confirmed, because we have this kind of pullback that created a higher low. Then we had a higher high, then the market tapped inside, reacted, tapped inside again, and right now it's again trying to react. So my question is this really gonna succeed, and are we gonna start heading higher, or are we gonna turn lower, right? And pretty much the only level that I see that is below 50% is this guy right there, which is 101,800, a nice kind of round number. And yeah, so pretty much right now we're stuck right here, again extended, although we have a very clear pullback right now, right? So again, if I am to play this one as it is a normal week, I am going to see how the market is going to open right now and really show me if it wants to go up or down, because right now we're tapping into this demand again, reacted, failed to push higher, pulled and back again, but also failed to make a new lower low. So what we're having right now is kind of a little range, right? So we have to, of course, drop to a lower time frame, see, okay, where is the predominant momentum? Well, it's to the downside. Massive push, pullback, massive push lower again. So if this was, for example, Monday, I would look for a level like this. I will drop to lower time frame, look for a shift, and then potentially attack the lows, right? But of course, we're doing this from Saturday, and anything can happen on Monday. So I'm gonna leave it like this, right? I am absolutely bullish on the dollar, but of course the bigger question is, are we gonna have a little bit of a pullback right towards 102? I do think so, because the market will need to reprice a little bit. It also depends on NFP. I think we can start rolling a little bit to the downside, and then NFP of course can start sending the market higher again, but we never know. So my analysis is, watch out how the market is going to react from this zone. If the hourly time frame or another time frame, yeah, hourly or even 15 minutes starts to strongly break into the upside, breaking this structure, then pulling back, then holding, then of course we can just start heading higher. But of course, if this one holds, if we break below this guy, then I think this one is going to expose some downsides potentially towards 102, right? So this is my DXY analysis. Of course, make sure to stay tuned for my Tuesday outlook that I share on Telegram. I'm probably going to start posting it publicly with the name Flow with the Markets Tuesday. This was named by Mr. Barry Financials, one of my best guys right there on YouTube. So I think I'm gonna do this. Let me know if you actually want to do so. And yeah, this is Dixie. Now on to EU. All right, let's have a look at Euro USD. So very massive drop this week, quite unexpected, caught me a little bit off guard. We moved from 108 all the way towards 104.80, right? So this is a pretty big move and pretty unlikely EU, right? This is 300 and something pips, so very nice. And if you remember, I have been calling 106 for a very long time. This is a target, but I did not expect it to reach even for 104, right? So massive, massive, massive drop. And I do think right now next target is around 103, right? 103.50, simply because also the DXY crushed that major high on the top. So I do think also EU is going to crush this major low, and pretty much this supply is going to become major and the market is really going to follow through. And yeah, Euro seems like to be dumping a lot, big time. So right now the question is, are we going to have a pullback, right? Well, I don't know, because yeah, we never know. We can see that sometimes we can have like a lot of big rally or a drop, and then you can see we enter into a consolidation, right? We had a drop right there, consolidation, drop right there, little consolidation. So I would expect something like this right now, something like that, right? Something even like this. It might start to chop around a little bit, but of course we're getting into Q2 right now and May, which are pretty volatile months. So I don't expect much of a chop, right? We can immediately start creating a beautiful uptrend towards the upside as a pullback, or of course we can continue rallying to the downside, right? But again, as I keep telling you, we never know what's gonna happen. So pretty much on the daily, again, you can see every single day started with a pullback, so definitely long opportunities to be caught. And I think you can have two outcomes this week. You either got smacked on taking longs and reversal trades, or you just smashed very nice shorts, or of course you stayed on the sidelines as I did on Wednesday and Thursday, unprepared with for the shorts. And hence why right now we have to improve our trading plan, which is what I do, to include new things, new entry models, new continuation setups, so that you can actually be prepared and catch them next time, right? So right now we are in this daily range, and again, I would love to see a pullback, but are we gonna get it? Well, I don't know, right? We never know. So the only thing that is gonna tell us is if we see the price becoming bullish. So again, a lot of liquidity points on the left have been taken. We're tapped into 105. We took a major low. So I do think we should have a pullback, right? But this is what I think, right? Not what we see. So right now on the 4-hourly on Friday, we don't have much to work with, all right? So this is not nice because we don't have much to work with. We can argue that we have a 4-hourly change of structure because this is like a lower low, lower high, lower low, and we had a break above it. And right now it looks like it's starting to hold from some sort of a level like this. But what I would love to see is some sustained continuation, right? I would love to see this break, a pullback, higher low, and then potentially heading higher. And not the so nice thing about this one is that we have a lot of levels right now to retest, right? So this is a zone right there. This is a zone to retest right there. And we have all of these zones. But ideally, I would look for zones that are above 50%, which are potentially going to give us a higher chance of the market actually reaching a premium. So more people will be interested to sell and then to potentially head lower. All right. So I will be open for both longs and shorts as I always am. And hopefully with some better setup so that I'm actually prepared to take some nice continuation trades, because all I did this week is reversals, right? So yeah, what we can see is that again, even on the hourly, we have this shift and we have, let's say, this higher low formation right there, similar to the DXY. It kind of looks like it's holding, but it's still failing to break above. And right now we're just pulling back towards this level again. So what I want to see is a little bit of sustained bullish pressure if it's really going to go higher. And then of course, if we have this pressure, we're going to have a new higher low created somewhere right there. So I'm going to be looking for the retest of it and then to potentially head higher, right towards the 50%. So nothing too huge that I'm throwing right there. I would like to see how the first week is going to open. It's also NFP, so chill out a little bit. And then usually like the second, the third, and the fourth week of the month are the best after NFP. Okay, so this is how I'm going to leave it right now. Very simple, very clean. Nothing too much to look at because we're, of course, extremely extended. We're having some signs of a potential reversal, but it's not here yet. So make sure to give it some time. And of course, stay tuned for my Tuesday morning outlook on Telegram, which I'm also gonna share on YouTube as well. So let's head into the trades right now. I would like to show you so you can actually learn something from those and what I did. We had a great webinar because I always kind of showcase also. I do backtest a lot and showcase all the best setups that we could have taken. And the risk to reward ratio that could have been banked this week is just unreal, all right? But as you can see on Monday, we had a very trending Asian range, and what we did on Frankfurt Open, just a massive drop. So what I wanted to do, of course, is trade the pullback. And I thought on Monday that this was manipulation. We took out my first target, which is this one. So I thought, okay, we can potentially start creating like a weekly high or something like this and continue going higher. So I ended up taking a long, which pretty much saved my ass for this week because, yeah, I was also having a losing week. Last one, I was running a little bit down, and yeah, it's very nice how one trade can actually bring everything back, and of course on top of it. So again, we reached this bottom. I was looking to long from here, but supply was still in control for me on the 15 or on the 5-minute time frame, so I did not take this long, which was actually pretty nice from here. Then we started trending higher, so I thought, okay, we're potentially going to reach for this level, so I tried to snag a long from here. We had the market creating demand, broke structure, pulled back, respected it, broke structure again, pulled back, higher low formation, snapped it from here, pushed, created a new higher high. And yeah, I would have gone break even on this one, but I don't go break even on my trades right now. I'm just testing it out, see how it goes. And yeah, you're going to have a lot of more losses, but also you're going to avoid that thing of the market tapping you in and then hitting to take profit, right? So this was a trade I took. And then we pull back all the way down towards this zone where I wanted to enter from early morning. Tap inside, break structure, pull back, hold the structure, break in again. So I took the trade from here, stop loss below, right? And I was more aggressive with the partials right there. So I took partials at 1 to 5 and a something. Then I took a partial at 1 to 7 and a something. And then the final one was towards the high at what, 1 to 11, right? At this high. And then I looked for shorts, but shorts were not provided according to me because I always love to trade like from higher lows. This one almost got tapped, this one did not tap, this one did not tap, right? So we just kept carrying on without clear entry setups for me. So this was Monday, which was actually my only profitable day for the week, which I'm very sad because we had some extreme price, but it is what it is, right? Not always you're gonna be prepared. I know a lot of people that took only longs this week on like on EU, on GU, on AU, shorting UJ as well. So I'm not the only one. And then again, Tuesday, I'm still looking for reversals. The first trade I attempted was from here. Manipulation of Asian low, so I thought we can head higher a little bit. And then again, another long to trade a pullback instead of following this beautiful downtrend, right? So quite stupid, but it is what it is. We learn from those. And I'm not gonna go into great details, but pretty much there is my first trade on Tuesday. So we had a tap inside this zone, as I told you, and we see the reversal. But if you have a look at beforehands, what happens? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So I was chatting to my accountability partner for my community, and we were seeing those things happen, right? And we were like, okay, are we idiots right now trying to long a bearish market? And yeah, we were idiots the majority of the times this week. But I took this long, which was a very nice entry, literally sniped it, gave a good reaction, failed to follow through, and then again, I did not close break even, so this was a stop loss. And then we reach a low, lower low, we flip the structure to the upside, and then on the pullback, so the mistake on this trade is that I was a little bit hesitant already to be taking longs, so I had a bigger stop loss, which was a mistake. My stop loss was 5 pips, right? Well, I should have placed it right here for 2.5, and then I would have actually had a much nicer full take profit, because I would 100% take a 6R in a counter trend market. But unfortunately, I only took 30% right there at 1 to 3, which covered my loss from here, and then we hit break even, right? And then guess what? I did not take any of those shorts. Don't ask me why, right? This one I did not see because I had this level right there, so I missed this one. But then we came to the level, then I didn't trade this one because it's already 340 and I don't trade at that time, which is of course something I would like to implement in my approach, because I'm mainly focused in London. And if I don't get anything in London, then of course I don't want to trade all day, but opportunities like this happen also a lot during New York, so this is something that I have to work on my routine. But Tuesday was a break-even day, and then guess what? I did not trade on Wednesday and Thursday. I was just monitoring those beautiful pushes to the downside. So yeah, quite sad. And then on Friday, let me show you what I did. I took a loss and a break-even, right? So not very nice. Again, this day I decided to short. The level is actually this one. If you're curious, we tapped inside and we gave a potential, where is it? A potential reversal signal. So we had a high that tapped into this one, we flipped the structure, we reacted from supply, broke structure again, pullback on the entry. This is where I took it, stop loss above. Very nice, actually looked very nice. Reached 1 to 3, I did not take any partials, and then I also did not go break even, so this one was a stop loss, not very nice. And then of course I decided to so this one was a very shitty day, because it's the day that I decided to actually take a short, and I got a stop loss, then I took a long and also got a, yeah, this one was a break even. But yeah, we had a new 50-minute demand with this bullish market, so I thought, okay, maybe right now we actually started the reversal, right? So let's go with it, right? So we had a TC, what I call it right there. So we had a tap, the market pushed, failed to break structure, but I still took it on the pullback from there, stop loss below, tried to follow through, failed, and tapped in break even. I also closed 50% right here because I got saved right there. Thankfully with my broker, it got me saved right there. So I closed 50% on break even, and then I closed the position at break even right there just because I didn't trust it. Or no, actually, I'm not really sure. I think I pushed, maybe close to break even right there, but pretty much not sure. So I had a losing day on Friday as well, right? So hopefully you learned from those. I'm not going to go into great detail. We do this in my private community where we walk through every single trade that you could have taken. This is where you usually learn the most as well. So that is EU again. So stay tuned for Tuesday and let's carry on with the analysis. All right, let's have a look at the JPY pair of euro, which is the euro yen. Pretty much right here, very strangely, we're having a massive bearish week on the JPY, which is great, of course. And this is probably influenced by the very bearish EU. But of course, right now it's still kind of 50-50 with the JPY because it's mainly driven by UJ. But again, those things also cannot continue forever. What I see right now is that we're tapping into this inside bar, right? Which is a pretty strong demand on the weekly, right? And we can already see the reaction. So the wick is actually bigger than the body, well, kind of, maybe a little bit, which signifies more of a rejection, right? If we just look at the psychology behind it, This one is more of a rejection candle according to me, which of course signifies that there was a lot of bullish pressure coming in, but then the question is it gonna sustain, right? So this is what we have to see this week, because again, we reached a high of around 140, right? So this looks like a absolutely textbook candle. And if I have a look at the high, we're watching right there at the high value, the high of this candle was 140.004. Right, so you can see how precisely the market stopped at this candle and we had a massive reversal. So is there something on the left as well that we took out this high right there and probably tapping into these wicks right here. But again, we cannot really forecast right now if we're going to have a continuation or reversal, because when you have such an extended market, you can also have a consolidation, right? So very important to know. But let's have a look on the hourly, right? So we started with this very nice push to the downside, pullback, push lower, pullback, push lower, again tapping into this very nice level that we spoke about. And what we have right now is a 4 hourly turning bullish. So what I would advise you to do is to follow the 4 hourly for now, right? Which can also signify that EU can turn a little bit bullish, because we have a break and we have a break lower and then a very nice break higher that also failed this supply, right? So we straight through broke above this guy, right? But we're right now in the middle of this range as well. That is coming from the top, pulling back towards 50%. And I would love to have like a nicer level right there. So maybe we're going to utilize the 8 hourly. There we go. So this is going to be my zone right here. So this is where I want to see the market pull back and respect, right? And if this one breaks, it is short mode, right? So I do think we can have a pullback towards this zone. See if we have a kind of a slowdown, again, according to your entry criteria, right? So it's very important to know what you're looking for as the market approaches a zone like this. I think this is one of the biggest struggles that you guys have. So I'm going to try to cover this as much as possible, but we teach this in the greatest detail in the private program. So yeah, as we approach this zone, then look for your entry opportunities, look for the shifts, look for all of that great stuff, and then potentially take it higher. Another situation could be, of course, the short side. Always look at both sides. We have this very major supply right there that caused this very nice push to the downside. So another thing could be to pull back right there, and then we can of course look for shorts back into the demand. All right, and keep in mind we might be entering into a range. If you kind of get a feeling of the market, you always know that if you reach a very big top or bottom, the market starts to range. Right, so I do think we can get something like this, but I also think we can either get a continuation or a reversal quicker right now because the volume is also bigger. So let's see, right? Let's see. There's my simple outlook. 2 zones to look for. If we tap into both of them, then look for your opportunities. And if we just crush below this one, then look for a pullback and continuation again. But let's of course see what's gonna happen on Monday and then update you on Tuesday. Let's have a look at the Aussies, and the Aussie USD is going on a rampage for a second week, right? So we had this massive wick to the downside last one, and then this week just opened with a little wick and just plummeting to the downside. So extremely bearish, right? We had a little bit of a thought of this one holding, but no, man, we just opened and we just crushed to the downside. So next target, the lows right there, 170, and of course we should be breaking below because the market just took out this high, and then usually it goes to seek another lower high, which is of course this one. So I do think we continue lower, and usually the market continues until it takes out the higher low, right? We might have a little bit of a pullback because of course this one right there is a very nice extreme zone. So we can have a little bit of a pullback, but eventually this one is going to get crushed, right? Of course, the biggest question is, are we going to initiate the pullback? Right, because you can see right now this is the last clear pullback before this massive drop to the downside. So if you drop like a range like this, you can expect quite a big pullback. All right, but I also want you to pay attention to the wicks right there and all of those wicks creating lower highs. And even the wick on Friday was really mad. I had my community making like 30% just on this short trade right there on AU. But yeah, it looks really bearish right now, so I'm not calling pullbacks on this one, definitely. And again, as I told you, we took out this high, the previous daily high, tapped into a potential lower high that is right here, somewhere maybe on a lower time frame, and right now we're just heading lower. So this level is taken probably 100. I can say with almost certainty that this level is getting taken on market open, because this is where the liquidity lies. Then as we tap right there, I can expect a pullback. So let me tell you what I would love to see on AU right now. Hopefully some of you AU masters are gonna support me on that. You know what I'm referring to, Miss Miri. But yeah, so let's see if we have a tap inside right there, pull back, and then I will be looking for this zone right there, because again, as I said, this one also loves to create like such accumulation scenarios. You can see for such a long time it had this range manipulated above and then it started dropping. So I would expect something like this to happen, but first I also think that this low is gonna get taken, right? But if you're looking for any longs, then just don't do so, because the market is bearish and we're only gonna get longs if a 4-hourly supply fails, right? So as we have right now a lower low, right, I will be looking for a pullback lower high and I'm gonna potentially short this market towards the low, right? So this one will be the textbook scenario. But if we take out the low, then of course we can expect a bigger rally and then maybe an invalidation of this downtrend, right? But my biggest tip if you're trading AU is that I want you to follow the momentum to the downside and trade it until you're wrong, right? Because we're bearish, there is no need to go long. And this, I really like this zone right there. So I think there was a beautiful trade right there that I think I was also monitoring it, but I don't trade AU at that time and sometimes I regret it. Yeah, it was exactly this one. And I think my community actually smashed it with a very tight stop loss this one. Now you can see you can get a 3-pip stop on this one and just riding it towards the low, like, yeah, you can see 30% was made for a day. So that was an insane trade, right? So first target is this one. Then of course this lower high maintains, and then I'm going to be looking for a pullback lower high and a continuation lower. Target is down there. Of course, let's see how it plays out. AJ already also initiated. So this one is looking good, by the way. This one we already have 2 weekly bearish candles, and this one really formed like the high, and we're starting to pull back very nicely. So let's see. And also on the daily we have an invalidation of the daily. So I really like this one, and I'm kind of confident to say that this one can also start rolling to the downside. Also, if we take this daily range, the market pulled back towards 50% on Thursday, and then Friday we're already expanding, and we're also having an inside bar, which is very good to see. So I would expect bearishness on this one. How can we get in? Not easy to get in. Yeah, so I'm not loving the 4-hourly time frame right now because it created this push, and right now it's about to tap into a higher low, right? Because this is a higher low that made this higher high, right? So what we can wait for is either for a break and a retest like this. Yeah, this will be the best setup that you can get. Or of course, if we react from here, if we pull back, I still think we can look for shorts from right there, but it's going to be less probable because then this zone did not cause any break of structure, which means that it's not very strong, right? But ideally, yeah, I would like to see just a very nice break below, then of course a pullback, lower high, and a continuation lower. So I'm pretty bearish on AJ. I'm also, yeah, I'm not very bearish on EJ. It looks a little bit more bullish. But pretty much, yeah, the Aussies are looking extremely bearish. So let's see if we can catch any shorts. Let's have a look at the NZDs, which are pretty much similar to the Aussies, and this one is really going with momentum right now. So what did I told you actually a few weeks ago is that this one was already breaking below this demand while AU was just about to enter it, and it really looks like the selling pressure on NZD was much stronger. I don't know why, but we can see how it started, like it's like a parabolic, right? We started slowly, we took this liquidity right there, boom, boom, and this week was just like expanding massively. Well, we took out the low, right, which is very important. Then, of course, the market is gonna seek like other lows like this. Took it out. Next low to seek is this. But yeah, we should stop somewhere, but I just don't know. Like, it's just massive momentum to the downside. Even the weekly candle closed without a wick, right? So NZD is very weak. I don't know why. Maybe you guys can let me know. But the last supply that I see on the day is right there, just massive expansion. So again, what you should do on this one is just follow 4-hourly, right? Nothing else to do until it forms like a clear lower low. So you can drop your range, which we cannot right now because there is no lower low. We can see on the daily, we don't have even a bullish candle. Yeah, currently I'm just not, if I was trading this pair, I'm not trading it because there is nothing right now. We kind of reached the bottom, we pulled back, there is no level, there is nothing to base a trade on. I potentially would like to short from here, which is precisely 50% if we kind of reach a low right now. So this will be a level that I will be looking to short potentially for continuations. But yeah, we just pulled back, created a lower high, massive expansion lower. So I do think this low is potentially getting taken, which it actually, okay, almost did. It's probably going to take it on Monday. So if we have a break below, then of course, what did I tell you on AU? Well, continue following the trend. Then this will turn into your last lower high. So keep shorting from there. Okay, there is your zone. pullback, lower high, and keep shorting until you're wrong on the 4-hourly time frame, right? So as long as the 4-hourly is bearish, you keep shorting, right? So nothing too much to mention on this one, so I'm just gonna go through it. Oh, this is my last analysis. No 50% pullback. If you wait for it, yeah, we got a pullback, but the market just dropped to the downside. And if I have a look on the weekly, yes, this one is right now a very nice bearish candle, which definitely forms in the range. Look at this beautiful uptrend right there. So we're definitely had this kind of Wyckoff schematic again, right? Boom, 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 manipulation, break. So right now, as we have the break, we should be following momentum. Like AJ, we also had a 50% pullback, and we're already creating a bearish engulfing candle. So yes, I would love to short from this zone right there. We don't have a clear break of structure, but if you get the opportunity for a pullback towards right there, then drop to your lower time frame and wait for your entry models for shorts. And then of course, the second thing will be if the market would like to pull back towards the extremes right there, but I don't think so. If we just started pumping it with momentum like this, this could also be a liquidity grab. Because if I judge by the candles, we had a massive bullish candle and a massive bearish one. There was not a sustained pressure above, right? So I do think we're headed lower. And of course, first target goes this one. And then for second targets, we have a lot, right? So NZDs, pretty bearish as well. So keep following the trend until you're wrong. And I think the JPYs might start providing some shorts. So let's actually have a look at UJ if it supports that. Well, there is not a lot of confidence that the USD/JPY is potentially gonna pull back, but we have something major, and I'm not sure if this is only me or on my chart, but my price starts from here, right? May 22, 2002, and we just took out this high, so there is nothing on the left, right? So we're just building up all-time highs on USD/yen, which is amazing. And if I just go to check like USD/JPY maybe on forex.com, yeah, it's kind of the same, and it's even looking way different, right? So I do think the USD/yen is a strange pair. But back to Owanda, which started a little bit earlier, right? We are just crushing this, right? We're just crushing all-time highs on this one. So of course we can start expecting a pullback after such a massive liquidity grab. But I think this is a big time for the yen. And I do think this is mainly due to the interest rate differentiation between the USD and the yen. And I think that the Bank of Japan also said that they're gonna maintain their negative rate, and they're even gonna lower it, right? So this is super bullish for this pair, right? So I even think this is like an investment that you can make, but I never look at currencies as an investment. But yeah, this one right now, if we followed it up from 2020, that one would have been huge, right? So on the daily time frame, we're still bullish. As long as we're bullish on the daily and on the 4-hourly can change a little bit, but daily is just bullish. And the structure on the 4-hourly also looks pretty good. We have this range, right? Very nice daily demand right there. I really like this. So yeah, I'm bullish, but we're reaching all-time highs, so I don't know what to expect. Well, pretty much my analysis will be like this: wait for this zone to tap, then wait for your setups, wait for the hourly, for the 4-hourly to change again, and then we keep longing, right? So very interesting times for the yen pair, for the USD as well. So let's see how it goes. I'm personally not trading this one, but for those of you that are, let me know what is your experience with USD yen. I know some of you tried to short this pair, but right now we're reaching all-time highs. So let me know what your expectations are. Let's have a look at the GBPs, which again, I don't think I have much to say. We're having a massive week to the downside, tapping 124, right? So we are taking all of the lows right there. And I don't know when it's gonna stop, right? Because we can start dropping like demand levels like this, but it doesn't make much sense, because what you simply can do is drop to a lower time frame and just wait for the market to shift, right? So what we have is the Friday bullish day. So that does not mean that we're gonna head all the way higher towards these zones right there. I really don't think we're gonna head that much higher. I probably think somewhere around right here, 50%, even lower if we drop this range. This one looks pretty good for potential pullback on GU. So if I drop on the 4H, we kind of have a 4-hourly shift right now, because we created this lower high, lower low, and right now we're starting to shift to the upside a little bit. But usually in order to confirm a trend, you need to have 2 hard highs. Is this correct? So if you have a downtrend, let's see. So there is your first break, right? And a lot of times the first break of structure, it could be also fake. So you can have something like this, right? Oftentimes you have this. So what I want to see is a pullback, confirmed higher low, and then another break, right? So hopefully this makes sense for you, because this is the first hard high and this is the second hard high, and after this then you can definitely long, right? So what we have on GU right now is just the first hard high, right? This is a lower high, there is a hard high. So what I want to see right now is a pullback, hold, break, and then potentially we can start targeting higher. This could be first target, and then of course a little bit higher above. Of course, you can be more aggressive. You can trust that it's actually reversing. So you can start looking for opportunities from levels like these, let's say, which is where the market really reversed, picked up this bullish momentum, right? You can also be even more aggressive and pick up levels like these, right, for longs. But pretty much if I'm trading this pair, I'm gonna leave it a little bit on Monday to see what it wants to do, to really see how it's gonna open, right? But pretty much this is the first zone that I will be looking to short from if we pull back towards right there. And yeah, then anything right here, I just don't know, right? So I'm favoring longs. I would like to take longs on this one again as a reversal trade, because we finally have a full hourly break of structure. We did not have any, like, yeah, this market again just opened on Monday on Frankfurt, and we moved like this massive candle, and then it just continued to drop to the downside. And of course you could be tricked to look for longs every single day, and the market just continued to roll down. But I think right now, if you, of course, the monthly candle is going to close like this with a little wick, we can of course initiate a little bit of a pullback, but let's see, more on that next week. So I'm gonna wrap it up like this on GU, right? I'm looking for longs, but I would love to have a pullback, maybe a risky long right there. If we then have a confirmed higher high, then definitely longs will be highly probable towards the 50%, which is right here. GJ, oh yeah, I have my analysis right there. Okay, that's good, because we have like a major zone right here on the left. The market tapped inside, very massively rejected. We're having an overall bearish week. On the daily, we have another very nice push lower. It's tapping into this guy right there, which is not very significant, I think, because we had a lot of those little slowdowns right there. And pretty much the 4 hourly right now, yeah, this is tricky. This is tricky because we failed. We even failed from here. As I told you, I was calling even shorts from last Saturday, and you can see we just opened right here on Monday, and we just broke to the downside, right? So definitely shorts were in play, but are they gonna sustain right now? Because we also had this lower high, lower low, and right now we have a break of structure above as well, right? And we're just stuck in the middle. If I drop like an overall range, yeah, we're not precisely in the middle, but somewhere around the middle zone, right? So it's not a very high probability place to be trading exactly from right here. And you can see how the market actually closed with a little range. So I don't really know what to expect on this one. I don't have a nice zone right there to actually draw. 8 hours. Yeah, not really. But we can drop it like this and go back to the 4H. So if we start with a bullish move, I would be interested to sell from here, or maybe even sell from here, right? If we start bearish, then I might be interested to long from here, although we don't have much of a long confirmation except from this daily zone right there. And is GJ gonna go higher with this bearish GU? I don't know, right? The correlation is a little bit off. You can see GU massively plummeting, and this one just provided a pullback, but this is because of the strength of UJ as well. So the JPY pair is a little bit tricky, but I know a lot of you are trading this one with momentum, so you really don't need that much of a direction. You just need to follow the momentum on it. So again, follow the flow, follow the structure, but this is how I look at it right now. I have a lot of scenarios, so I'm not really certain on any of those. So let's wait a little bit more in this case. And yeah, this one, Euro GBP, respected this one, started heading higher. Right now it's potentially respecting this one. This day, come on, man. This daily extreme supply, this one is no longer relevant. So right now we are in this range, right? So we tap aside, reacted, and we also broke 4 hourly structure, and we also respected this guy, which starts to build up a little bit of a bearish flow. And there is an example of what I mean, guys. So there is a higher high, there is the first lower low, there is a respected level, and there is the second lower low. So if this one actually breaks, then there is a high chance that the market is even going to continue lower. But this is Euro GBP. This can do anything it wants, right? So let's see what it wants to do. I don't trade this one. I'm just judging it again with the momentum, but I don't see which one is stronger or weaker right now. It starts to drop a little bit to the downside, which means Euro is weaker, pound stronger. I don't know, right? So those are the GBPs. GJ is a little bit 50-50. GU shows us a little bit of a bullish sentiment, so I hope we can get some longs, but of course, wait for Monday to play out and let's see. Let's have a look at gold. Another bearish week, taking out all the lows, as I think I projected. I'm really not following very closely gold, so I even don't know what I'm calling on this one because I'm just kind of analyzing it in terms of more of on a macro perspective. But those two lows right there were taken. 1880 was tapped, and potentially the next target for me will be this demand, right? And then from there we have to see, because we have this most recent push. So this one could be a pullback, so then we can tap and explode higher, right? So this can be a cause, but again, as I told you last week, this instrument is driven by fundamentals, right? Yes, we would love to be technical with it, but it's mainly driven by fundamentals. And again, rates increasing, DXY going up, USD JPY going up. So not a lot of people are going to start putting money into gold. They're starting to move, right? And if UJ goes higher, gold goes lower. I think this is a correlation that we should all know, and we're already having it playing out, right? It's not on the scale that UJ goes higher, but we're still bearish, right? So yeah, those are potentially the next level that I'm going to be looking for. The most recent range on the daily looks like this. So I would be interested to probably sell from a level like this, right? If I drop to the 4H, 4H is a completely different story. This is more like for intraday trading, which I'm just suck if I try to intraday trade gold. I'm just looking at it on a macro perspective. But yeah, right now we have this sign that we have a little bit of a break of structure. But what did I tell you a few pairs ago? This is not a confirmed one, because if you have a bearish trend, sometimes this is a liquidity grab to continue lower, right? So what I would like to see is for the market to hold, break higher, pull back, then long, and then potentially shorts from here, right? So this is how I would imagine this one can play out. And of course, the next one will be just a break below. And if it breaks below, then you wait for a pullback and you keep trading the trend, right? Until you're wrong. So bearish bias on gold. Let me know what you guys think. Where do you think this one is reaching for? I'm personally thinking about this zone right there, potentially 1850. Which is where I'm gonna start to reevaluate and really see if we're gonna have any bullish pressure or anything at all. But I pretty much think that this one is going down, so I'm not really sure if we're gonna go that much to the lows, right? But so far I am bearish. So let's see how it goes this week with NFP. All right, let's look at some indices and cryptos. So starting with US30. After we had this beautiful liquidity grab, again, it was expected that, of course, I had this last resort, right there, demand, which we're currently sitting inside, right? And this is really the last resort. If this one fails, then definitely we're taking out the lows and heading towards like 3160, which is where potentially we can start having a rebound, right? A lot of people are calling crashes right now, depression and all of that stuff, which is great because, yeah, there is some fear in the market, which drops the stock market down. But this is always good because there is a lot of opportunity in this case. But yes, overall intraday, US30 so far bearish. As I told you, we're tapping inside this zone. We can even right now refine it to the last zone, which is right there. So if this one fails, then I definitely think we're bearish. And so far, the 4-hourly time frame has been beautifully bearish. A lot of shorts to be taken right on this move lower. A new break of structure right there. So let's see how it's going to continue, right? If we have a new pullback, lower high formation, then definitely shorted, targeting these lows and then potentially taking it into 3160. So I'm overall bearish, although I kind of have some reservations about this one. I still feel that we might actually have rebound, but let's see. And also Nasdaq is completely breaking the level, so I'm gonna delete everything, go back to the weekly. Very nice takeout of this one, which is a structure break. And then yes, the next target will be these wicks right there potentially. But yeah, very important on this one is just to follow the daily bias, the daily candles as well. We had a pullback, right now we're flushing lower. So next target immediately becomes this one to create a new lower low. And as you can see, beautiful setup on this one right here. I actually started trading indices from 2 weeks, but I mainly trade S&P because this is where I'm mainly invested in. Nasdaq is a little bit too fast for me. This is like S&P is like EU and Nasdaq is like GU, and I love EU and I hate GU, right? So this is what it is. Massive drop to the downside right now, potentially about to take out this low. So if we take this low, then expect to pull back towards this zone and continuation lower. I will be looking to short from here. This will be an area of interest for me. And yeah, bearish on this one, continuing lower, and interested to see how it's going to respond from like 1260 all the way down to 1200s. This could be a potential longing area, right? And S&P is starting to also fail. We had a very nice reaction. I caught a couple of intraday shorts on this one, also some longs as well. But I'm not gonna show them for now. But if I just delete this one and look at it on the macro perspective, well, it looks like we're breaking below my last resort, which is this one, which potentially right now unlocks 41, right? And if 41 is unlocked, then potentially, yeah, this one is gonna fail, which we're currently sitting inside. And then potentially I'm calling around, yeah, I was calling around 40K, somewhere right there, potentially to have a reaction from. But it's very nice. We had a liquidity gap and the market really seems like it's failing. It's really starting to pick up steam to the downside. This is my low, this is my target right there. It really depends on what happens after this one is taken, right? I do think we can go around 4K, right? And then from there, I'm gonna watch out for potential reversals, right? But currently, daily, 4-hourly, everything is bearish. Look at this beautiful liquidity gap, I think on Thursday. Very nice short to take. And if I trade indices, this one might force me also to stick at New York to trade EU. So probably my win rate and successful trades are going to increase. Breakout structure right now similar to NASDAQ. If we pull back towards this zone, I will be interested to sell S&P again, targeting towards this low and then potentially targeting towards 4K, where I'm going to be buying a lot of shares, right? So this is the indices. Crypto, yeah, well, it's a little bit tough on this one to speak about because we're just entering into a range, an overall consolidation, an overall indecision. And again, this one is driven by, yeah, I don't know. It's the thing that I don't like about crypto is that I cannot right now go and analyze its internal value, right? Intrinsic value, not internal, and I cannot say what is the value of the coin, right? So this is mainly driven by supply, demand, people buying, selling, fear, greed, all of that stuff. But yeah, so we're still in this kind of daily demand, right? On the weekly, we tapped inside the zone, tried to react, failed, try it in again. Right now we're kind of retesting, but I just don't see the longs. I just don't see them. And I didn't sell from there, just to complain once again, because I bought it from 39 and we were sitting at 48, but your guy didn't sell. I was going for the moon, right? I got caught off with greed right there, and this is what happens. So yeah, we can seek out the lows, 34, right, 33, tap deeper into the zone, maybe to scare in a little bit more people and then to potentially expand. I don't know, right? And even if you ask me, I think it's even very hard to intraday trade Bitcoin right now, because at a time you have a new higher high, then you have a new lower low. Then yes, this one was a lower high, which you can potentially short from. Nice short opportunity right there. But then it doesn't make a new lower low and starts to range, right? So I don't have much to say on crypto. Honestly, guys, I don't have much to say. So I'm just gonna put it right there and just wait for something, right? If you have money to invest in these sort of regions, I do think it's good, right? Because this is a very nice accumulation period. It's a very nice drop from the top, right? This is a 50% decline, 52% decline. So anything around this zone is good within this accumulation. But I also do think we can have a new spike into the lows to grab even more liquidity, and then we might actually start heading higher, right? Ethereum looked a little bit more positive, right? And we reacted from this zone that I called, right? Reacted, tried to follow through, but failed. And right now we're turning bearish. So I'm looking for 26 on this one, where I might put a little bit more in, because I like Ethereum even more than Bitcoin. It's a little bit more smoother. But yeah, so pulling back right now, you can see we have 3 bullish weeks, and right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bearish weeks, and they're starting to run out of steam. So if you look at this, we can say that it's accumulating for something, but is it gonna go long? I don't know. My biggest tip for you will be to wait for the full hourly time frame to shift, which we have perfectly bearish right now. So as long as the full hourly is bearish, we keep shorting, right? And it's very important for this one to know this scenario that I've mentioned a couple of times, right? To wait for a pattern like this. Don't rush to long on this one, because this one is often a liquidity gap to go lower. There is a beautiful example. You think that this is a higher low, a lower high. Oh, higher high, let me long from there. Oh, you get smacked, right? So what you have to do, tap, reaction, and then long it, okay? So yeah, this is cryptos, this is indices, bearish market, very good, a lot of volume in the market. So guys, sharpen your plans, focus. Again, this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna refrain from posting too much videos and all that stuff, focusing on trading as well, capitalizing, because also the stock market is looking very good right now. It's a good time to be investing, to be buying. undervalued stocks as well if you have a system for that. So yeah, I'm leaving it here. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. It was a little bit long. Hopefully you're staying up until now. Let me know down in the comments, what are your thoughts for next week? What kind of opportunities you took this week? Did you get smacked? I'm very curious. Did you get smacked on any counter trend trades? And yeah, see you on Tuesday. Have a relaxing weekend and let's crush the upcoming month.